What's happening? What's happening? What's happening? I want to welcome y'all back to the Papa Black Podcast. Hold on, boy. Yeah. Oh shit. Yeah. Actual thing is about to go dead. Let me. Y'all give me a second. Give me 1 second. All right. Y'all pardon the interruption, but I had to plug up my podcast equipment because it was going dead. All right. We should be straight now. I had to pause. I had to plug up recharge my podcast equipment. So hopefully it won't go out again. Miss India should be joining me when she can get on. But let me welcome y'all back to the Papa Black Podcast. It's been a trying day, but we're gonna try to have some fun today. I want to talk about a couple of things that Miss India might not be be brushed up on, but we're gonna do it before she come on. And I want to talk about the situation with the young player Ja Morant. If y'all don't know who he is, that is a basketball player, one of the young stars of the NBA. But he done got himself in a little trouble. He done had about 4 incidents since last year, and most of them is about him having a pistol or a gun. I know one of them he pointed a laser, or somebody that was with him pointed a laser at the some members of the Indiana Pacers after a game, and recently he was flashing a gun on IG, and he's come up under scrutiny, especially by the NBA, because the NBA, they don't play that. You know what I mean? Especially on things that involve the NBA, like the plane, the practice facility, the game. You know what I mean? So they trying to find out how did the gun get in Denver, because they was in Colorado, and luckily Colorado is an open carry state, so the police are not actually pressing any charges. Memphis has suspended him for at least 4 more games. He's already been suspended for 2, and I am glad that he took ownership of it and didn't try to pass the buck to somebody else. He took ownership and said that he was responsible for it, and he's willing to accept any blame or any punishment, and also that he was going to try to get him some help. You know what I mean? But my young players out here, let me explain something to y'all. As a young man, I ran the streets also. You know what I mean? But what I'm seeing y'all do is take pride in going to jail. Like, for some reason, y'all feel like y'all don't get any respect unless you go to jail and do some time. I don't know where that came from because when I was a young man, it was all about how much we could get away with, how much time we didn't do in jail. You know what I'm saying? And then another thing I don't understand is how y'all weren't criminals or hood before you got money, but when you get yourself in a situation where you can get away from the hood, y'all tend to go to the hood. Or try to get street cred. Let me say this, and this is no disrespect to the streets or anybody that live the street life, but street cred don't mean anything to anybody except people that run the streets. Street credibility is not going to help you in corporate America. You know what I mean? So stop getting out of the hood or getting in situations where you can get out of the hood and then you start making a record or having a record. Like, come on, man. It's you're smarter than that, I hope. You know what I mean? Like, I know parenting ain't the same. Like, to me, his father's always with him. His father's at every game pretty much. Okay, Pop, you helped him get to this point. Now I need you to help him keep it. I know he's the breadwinner of the family, but still, you are his father. You know what I mean? And young men, y'all don't need, and young ladies also, because a lot of young ladies are making it too. But y'all don't need a bunch of people around y'all that's afraid to tell you when you making mistakes or when you messing up. See, a lot of people they get a little money, they like yes sir people around them. Somebody that's gonna be cool with everything they do, not gonna tell them when they messing up. They like people to just agree with whatever they do, even if it's wrong. You're not gonna make it in life like that. You know what I mean? And then once you get in a situation to get out of the streets, hey man, get out of the streets. Like real street cats, when they get some money or something, they pretty much try to be square, at least on the surface. They don't turn into squares, but they try to clean up their image. You know what I mean? So don't get caught up in now that you done made it or you got a little money. Now you want to start being hood or start. You know what I mean? Come on, man. Who teaching y'all this? You know, what I mean? I feel sorry for some of these young cats because a lot of them they don't have guidance. You know what I mean? And that's shit starts early. You can't train somebody once they're grown. Like, come on, man. It starts when they're children. 0 to 5 is when they learn the most. After 8, they pretty much made. Now, it is some that can learn later, but at the age of 8, hey man, they pretty much made. So whatever you don't let them got away with up until they got 8, they gonna pretty much continue to try to do it. Now I know I might not remember everything that my mama taught me growing up, but a lot of it I do remember. I still live by them principles. Even though my parents have passed away, I still feel like if I do something stupid, it's gonna hurt them. You know what I mean? And one thing most kids don't want to do is disappoint their parents. You know what I mean? So, hey, man, you done made it out the NBA. I mean, you done made it in the NBA. You done made it away from your neighborhood. Hey, pimp, all your player partners, they can't go. You know what I mean? And you can't just run back to the hood and hang like you used to. Hey man, it's time to elevate. Don't be scared to elevate because hopefully you will have a long life. You can't run the streets forever. You can't be a criminal forever. Criminal behavior leads you to two places, jail or hell. You know what I mean? Luckily, comedy is what saved me from the streets. I thought it was gonna be my kids when I had kids, but the shit I was going through with my baby mama, well, that kind of took away from it. You know what I mean? But luckily, comedy is what saved me. That and one other thing, because I got locked up in '94. I'm sure y'all done heard me say it before, but I'm not bragging. But I got locked up in '94. My kids came to see me. They were 4 years old at the time. They came to see me when I was locked up, and then we could have physical touch. I was at a work camp. You know what I mean? So they came to see me. They sitting in my lap, but they still trembling. I'm like, hey, what's wrong with y'all? We scared, Dad. I'm like, hey, baby, you know, Dad ain't gonna let nothing happen to you. You know what I mean? Long as I'm right here with you, you're gonna be all right. You know what I mean? But I also told them then that, hey, you ain't got to worry about coming to see Daddy in jail no more. And I made it my business. Once I got out, I didn't go back because I never wanted my kids to be afraid to come see me. You know what I mean? So I can understand you getting caught up. You know what I mean? But once you see what that life is about, hopefully you want to stay away from it. And for my man John Morant, I know somebody that really know him. You know what I mean? How close they are, how or whatever, I don't know. But they grew up. John Morant grew up with her child. He's a couple of years older than her child, but he grew up with her child pretty much. So they got a bond. You know what I mean? But you done got to the point where you just signed a new contract that kicks in next year for 5 years, $231 million. Hey Pimp, that if that ain't enough to make you want to straighten up and stay out the streets, hire you some real security when you go out. Hey man, you should. You done created generational wealth for your entire family. That should make you want to stay out the streets. And I know once you become the breadwinner, a lot of people ain't gonna tell you the truth. They gonna tell you what they think you want to hear, so you won't cut them off. But I am one that will tell you the truth. You can cut me off. I don't care. Because I would feel messed up if I sit here and let you ruin your life. You know what I mean? I take shit like that personal. Like when I was on the road with Bruce, I came straight off the streets of Decatur hustling to comedy. And when I got my chance to go on the road with Bruce, and I had an 8 year run on the road with him, we were together probably about 17 to 18 years, pretty much every day. You know what I mean? But I got a chance to go on the road with him for 8 years. But the whole 8 years, I understood that I can't do anything around him to put his career, his life, or him in jeopardy. Like as wild as I was, I never did anything to put his career or his life in jeopardy. Like I don't believe in that. You know what I mean? Just like my elementary school boys, and I tell them all the time, I appreciate them because they are the ones that keep me humble or kept me humble when I was, you know what I mean? I had my little 15 minutes of fame or whatever. But I never got caught up in that fame. You know what I mean? Being on TV. I never got caught up in that. But I thank them all the time. Like we were so cool that they followed me from elementary to high school. But then I ended up leaving them at the high school because I transferred. And later on in life, they asked me, they were like, hey man, how can you leave us at Briarcliff and we followed you to Briarcliff? And I told them, I said, man, that's when I started hanging in the streets. And I knew that wasn't y'all. I cared too much about y'all for me to jeopardize y'all life if I'm gonna jeopardize mine. I'm like, no, pimp, y'all always been brothers to me. Y'all been in my life 40 years at least. Some of them 45. I would have felt like a damn fool if when I started running the streets or felt like I wanted to run the streets, I drag y'all down with me. Nah, man, I don't do that. And they were like, hey, man, you were thinking like that back then? Yes, pimp, I always thought like that. But that's why I got away from y'all. Because I didn't want to jeopardize you. And to be honest with you, I didn't care anything about my future. I cared more about y'all future than I did my own. So that's why I got away from it. And then, pimp, when you become the breadwinner of your family, man, don't let nothing mess that up, pimp. Because you setting yourself up for generations as long as they don't blow the money. And a lot of times when you give people something or you leave people something, they don't care enough about it because they didn't have to work for it. Like it's a difference when somebody give you something and when you work your ass off for something. It's a difference. You respect it more when you have to work for it. When you have to put in them blood, sweat, and tears, them hours and hours at the gym, and like you respect it more. So man, don't let nothing, nothing or nobody take you away from your journey. Like you got a new shoe. Hey Bill, you got a new shoe. You the new face of Powerade. Hey man, you just signed a contract, 5 years, $231 million. Pimp, you're one of the ones that might be able to do the same thing LeBron did and become a billionaire while you playing basketball. It don't get no better than that, Pimp. You getting paid. I'm talking about you getting paid to do something that you love. Don't let nobody take you away from that. Or don't get caught up and start thinking you're invincible. Because as when we're young, especially young men, we think we're invincible. You know what I mean? But pimp, everybody gets caught. Hell, I just read today, Sean Kemp just got locked up today for a drive-by. I, I hope he wasn't shooting at nobody. You know what I mean? Come on, pimp. And he 53. He my age. You know what I mean? Come on, man. Like, as black men, we gotta make better decisions, man. And I don't seen a lot of people bash the young man and talk bad about him and yeah, they ought to lock him up and throw away. Hey, pimp, everybody make a mistake. If you ain't made one, you will. If you my age, you made several. So don't act like you God or something, like you ain't never made a mistake. Everybody make mistakes. That's a part of living. That's a part of growing. So I would never get on here and bash that man for one mistake. Now, if it becomes repetitive, yeah, then yeah, that's something different. But for making one mistake, no, you got a chance to clean that up. You know what I mean? You got a chance to clean it up. The NBA haven't suspended you. The police in Colorado, they're not pressing charges. You know what I mean? So, hey, Pimp, that's a blessing, man. Thank the man upstairs. You got blessed to keep your career. Now, I'm not saying the NBA ain't gonna suspend him, but they haven't. His team, Memphis, they suspended him for 2 games, and then they just added 4 more games to it. And hopefully, you know what I mean. By then, you be done got. Hey, man, and he said that he gonna get him some help dealing with life and the stuff that he got going on. You know what I mean? Which I know is a lot. You know what I mean? Pimp me 23. I know it's a lot. You know what I mean? Because one thing about the sports or the NBA or whatever, what they don't do, they don't put y'all in classes to teach you how to deal with it. A whole lot of money. When you go from a little money to a lot of money, hey man, it's a lot of shit come with that. A lot of responsibilities come with that. You know what I mean? So if you don't have anybody to help you, call me, Pimp. I talk to you, and I don't want shit from you. I just don't want you to miss your life. You know what I mean? And I know I haven't always made the best decisions, and I don't act like I'm perfect. I don't try to be perfect because I know it's nothing that is perfect. You know what I mean? So I don't put that much pressure on myself. But as you get older, Pimp, you got to make better decisions because you are responsible for you and a whole lot of people now. And then as his father, hey Pimp, so what if your child don't give you nothing if you tell him the truth? I ain't never cared about nobody being mad at me for me telling them the truth. Because once you realize I'm telling you the truth, you'll get over it. And I'll be right here when you get over it. And to save my son life, hey man, I don't care what my kids I done heard I'm mean. My kids done told my sister and my cousin I'm mean. And when I explain to them why I'm mean, oh, if you don't understand it, oh, but so what? I don't care. My job as your parent is to make sure you don't fuck your life up from 0 to 18. I did that. I don't expect you to like every decision I have to make as a parent. Yeah, I don't like every decision you make as a child, but I respect your decisions because I felt like I did my job. I know you're self sufficient. I know you're responsible because I put that in you coming up, not when you got grown. Yeah, one of my daughters ain't talking to me right now because I won't go against something that I believe in. Hey, baby, I'm not a part of this new world. And like I tell young people all the time, y'all was born in a fake ass fictional world. Well, y'all think all you got to do is say something and you can have it. No, everything that means anything requires work. It requires dedication. It's gonna require some money or some time. 9 times out of 10, it's gonna require both. And see, y'all came up in a world where you don't have to prove anything. You can just say you're something, and people gonna believe you. I didn't come up in that era. I came up in an era where you had to prove yourself. and you let other people tell your story. Like I remember when my man Lil Duval had just started, well, he had just moved to Atlanta in the early part of his comedy career. And he used to see me at Uptown. And I used to come off stage, he'd be like, "Hey, Black, you just ripped this motherfucker up, man. You just tore this motherfucker up. Won't you say you tore it up?" I said, "Pimp, what good does it do for me to tell somebody that I did something? I like it when they tell me I ripped it up. I like them to tell me that I'm funny instead of me telling them I'm funny. I want them to tell me. I won't let myself get the big head because I don't care nothing about that. I like genuine, real people. Like, if you don't like me, tell me. If you don't like something I'm doing, tell me. I had a man tell me I done disrespected him for 2 years. A player that worked with Bruce. He told me one day, "Man, you done disrespected me for 2 years. Hey, Miss Alicia." I'm like, "Pimp, let me tell you like this. If you don't let me disrespect you for 2 years, that's some bullshit. Because you talk to me damn near every day. You call my phone damn near every day, but you ain't never told me you felt like I was disrespecting. Come on, pimp." Like I like real, genuine people around me. Like I don't have to agree with everything you do, but if you genuinely being yourself, you true to who you are, there's a certain amount of respect I'm gonna have for you, whether I like it or not. Because I'm genuinely me. Like when I meet somebody, when you first get in new relationships, everybody say, "Hey man, you know, you meet somebody representative for the first goddamn 90 days or whatever." Well, I don't have a representative. I don't act good. Not even when I was an entertainer. I was never into acting because I don't act that way. Now I can be me. I'm great at being me. And see, when I was doing comedy, I never cared about being in movies, never cared about being in a sitcom or none of that. I wanted to be the king of stand-up because I could be me. You know what I mean? And one thing I hate about my comedy is that I'm one of the first ones used to represent the hood and thugs, and that used to be my mantra when I'm on stage. I'm here for all the hood niggas, the thug niggas. Hey man, and if I led you down the wrong path, I'm so sorry. You know what I mean? Because I knew how to get out of it, and hopefully you did too, or you do too. As a young man, yeah, we gonna try a whole lot of shit. But as you get older, hey pimp, it's time to let it go. And once you make it out the hood, hey pimp, leave the hood behind, man. I know you want to have all your friends and all that. Hey man, all your friends can't go with you. And it's gonna be some hard decisions that you have to make in life, but that's what life is about. And my men out here, if you know a young man that you know personally, or you his uncle, daddy, or cousin or somebody, hey man, try to grab them young and guide them in the right direction. Don't just throw your hands up because a lot of young men don't have the guidance. And for my ladies out here, I always hear y'all talking about you ain't got no man, men ain't shit and all that. Okay, that's cool. I take not being shit. But at the same time, when you have a son or a daughter, they all need that male influence. So hopefully you have some man in your life, whether it's your father, your brother, your uncle, your cousin. It gotta be a man in your life that you respect. I hope. I hope it's a man in your life that can help you guide your child. But don't wait until he get old and he hard headed. No, let him get that guidance early. That way it will stick with him. The things my mama taught me is still with me. I still live by her code. I still live by the shit she taught me. Even when I was being a knucklehead and running the streets, guess what? It's still certain shit that my mama taught me, pimp. I did regardless. And see, I was always a hustler. I ain't robbing somebody, shooting something like that. Ain't never been my thing. I've always been a hustler. You know what I mean? So, hey man, to my man John Morant and any other young man out here, I see a lot of athletes and entertainers. Not saying all of them, but a lot of them, they didn't come from the hood. Now, a lot of them had bad upbringings, but you didn't come out the hood, or you didn't have a street life. I can't say you didn't come out the hood. You didn't have a street life. But pimp, trust me, you don't want to try to make a street life once you done got away from that. You know what I mean? Like one of my homeboys, one of my brothers, I can't even call him my homeboy, it's one of my brothers. He's been with me since the second grade. But he made some mistakes, and to me, well, I can't even say he threw his life away, but he made some mistakes and got himself messed up as a 40-year-old man. And I hate that shit for him to this day. Because, hey man, he got a whole lot of time. And he was very influential in his two sons' life. And he had his sons late. He had his sons at 40. But by the time he was 45, hey man, he was locked up for the rest of his life. So the influence that he had on his two sons, hey man, it's no longer there. You know what I mean? Luckily, is their mother married a young man that he cares deeply for them two boys. You know what I mean? And I'm proud of them because to me they my nephews. So I'm glad that he's in their life and he's guiding them the right way. You know what I mean? So I appreciate him for that. You know what I mean? But hey man, we can't keep losing these young men out here, or young girls either. Every day I cut on the news, somebody done got shot. Teenagers. Come on, man. 16-year-old just got shot the other day going to the skating ring. I think out in Douglasville, if I'm not mistaken, LaGrange or something. Like, come on, man. Two kids got shot out in Douglasville this earlier this week or last week or something. Come on, man. Hey man, at least try to have a future. Because you haven't lived, man. You don't really get to live until you get in your probably your 30s. That's when you should have everything figured out, how you want to live your life, how you can fulfill the dreams that you have. You should have it figured out by the age of 30. Hopefully it'll be before that. But by 30, yeah, you should have it figured out. And I say again, man, once you are able to get away from the hood, leave that shit behind. Because it's gonna be a lot of people that's not gonna make it out the hood. And guess what? They don't want to see your ass make it either. And one thing I learned, if you can't bring somebody out of a situation, you better leave them alone because they will bring you down to their situation. And then, hey, pimp, if you really want to know who really got your back, tell them no. If their behavior change, their attitude change towards you because you told them no, you already know, pimp. They down because of what you're doing for them and what they can use you for. Because you don't owe nobody nothing. So if you choose to look out for somebody, hey man, you put a limit on how much you look out for somebody. Because takers don't have a limit. They're gonna take as much as they can for as long as they can. So, hey man, I didn't get on here to preach tonight. I just want to talk to my man John Moran. I know he probably ain't gonna see it, but pimp, if you need help trying to figure out some shit, I'll talk to you. You can talk to me, pimp. I'm a lot of people confidant. A lot of people done told me a whole lot of shit that goes on. I hear a whole lot of shit every day. And I'm trying to help you, pimp. I want you to keep what you got and get some more. Don't lose it. Get some more. Multiply it. And that goes for anybody. If it's anybody out there that need to talk, hey man, I'll talk to you. But I'm not gonna listen to you complain every day and you're not trying to do anything about it. I don't want to hear the drama every day if you ain't trying to fix the drama. If you want to live in it, hey baby, you gotta live in it by yourself. If you're trying to get away from it and you don't know how, I got you. And whatever I don't know, hey pimp, I got people around me that do know. And I go get you an answer or put you in touch with the right people. Because I'm tired of losing all these black people. And I'm not prejudiced. I'm pro-black, but I'm not prejudiced. No, I have some great white friends. So I'm not prejudiced. I'm just tired of losing my people. You know what I mean? So hopefully y'all are tired. Hopefully y'all tired of looking at the news and seeing all these teenagers and kids getting killed. Hopefully. I know we done seen so much, a lot of us done became numb to it. Like for me, I can't look at the videos of the police beating us and black people fighting and I can't look at that. You know what I mean? That's not entertainment to me. I know everything goes viral when it's something messed up. Everything goes viral. And to me that's sad. It's sad that people want to keep seeing death and destruction. You know what I mean? That ain't me. I'm built on love and fun and having fun and enjoying life. I don't think it's one person that called me every day that I don't make them laugh about something. I don't care what kind of day they have. We're gonna laugh about something. We're gonna get at least one laugh in. Now I'll let you be mad for a minute, but we're gonna get one laugh in. And then y'all done heard me say this too. When people want to talk to you, hey pimp, learn how to be a listening ear. A lot of time people don't talk to nobody because they already know you're gonna judge them for what they tell you. Or you gonna tell their business because you want to go viral. Hey man, the internet done ruined a whole lot of shit, man. I'm not saying we don't need it. The internet is great, but the internet has ruined a whole lot of shit. When we came up, we kept everything. Whatever happened behind closed doors stayed behind closed doors. Nobody knew everybody's business. But now, since everybody on the internet, y'all like to tell everything y'all do. Then you get mad because people judge you on what you tell them. But Pimp, you told them. They want to know shit about your business if you want to say it now. So y'all stop telling all your business. Find you a real friend or somebody that you can talk to and confide in. And you know who run their mouth and who tell your business. All you gotta do is look at who come to you telling you somebody else's business. If they'll tell you somebody else's business, guess what? They gonna tell your business to somebody else. They just hoping that you don't know the person that they told it to. Or the person you told it to, you hoping that they don't say nothing to the person you talked about. But hey man. And another thing I want to talk about right quick is why do women love drama? Like they don't try to fix the shit that goes on in their life. They like to constantly talk about it though. They don't try to fix it. They'll tell you because I got people that tell me some of the same shit every day. And I'll be like, okay, well you got to get away from it, but they don't get away from it. They come back the next day and tell me some more shit. After a while, I'm not gonna want to hear it because you ain't trying to do nothing about it. I don't like to hear a lot of complaining and you ain't trying to fix it. I'm not saying don't talk about it. I'm not saying don't be mad about it. But I am saying try to fix it. And if you can't fix it, pray about it and let it go. I hear everybody holler they Christian, they believe in the Bible, they spiritual. Oh, okay. Well, I've always been taught if you can't fix something, if it's out of your control, you pray about it and let it go. You know what I mean? So, hey man, whatever time you got left, hopefully you'll live it in peace and enjoy yourself. Enjoy whatever life you got left. And don't think that you're not gonna go through some more things. You're gonna go through shit in life. It's all about how you deal with it. But hey man, I'm not finna preach to y'all all day. I'm just here to hopefully help somebody. Hopefully somebody will get some out of this. You know what I mean? Hopefully. But if you don't, hey man, to each his own. Because you do have the right to live the life that you want to live. But hey man, the way shit going, it ain't gonna get no better. It is gonna get worse. So hopefully you proud of yourself. You want to live longer. You don't want to live a life of chaos. You know what I mean? Hopefully you want to live peacefully. You want to have a lot of laughter in your life. Hopefully. And for the people that want to get healthier, hey, come out there and walk with me, man. I hear it all the time, man. You motivate me. You motivate me. But let me motivate you enough to come out there and walk with me. Hey, pimp, it ain't as bad as you think it is. And then if you got somebody to walk with you and y'all can have a decent conversation, you won't even think about walking. You know what I mean? And then don't come out there trying to walk 5, 6 miles. Hey, come out there and get you a mile, get you 2 miles in. Because you gonna feel it, but I still need you to be able to go to work and handle your business. But hey, man, I'm finna get off here. I guess Miss India got tied up at work, but hey, man, and if you ever want to know who's meant to be in your life and who's not, just ask the man upstairs to remove the people that don't mean you any good. But before you ask, make sure you can handle what he show you now, because it's not gonna be an enemy. It's gonna be somebody that you love, that you care about, and you'll be shocked. So, hey, man, y'all have a good night. I'm finna enjoy the rest of my night, and I'll holler at y'all, man. Y'all be easy.